What is good and what is up to the Soul Reason people out there? Welcome to the Soul Reason, a place where you and I can learn each other and you and I can talk about the sneaker world. And wouldn't you know, here comes episode 3 down the pipe. And you know what's crazy? Let's just jump right into it, right? You don't even know who I am. My name is Josh Dela Cruz. Welcome to the Soul Reason podcast, where we just talk about sneaker culture. Yes, this is a sneaker show, but let's not forget the beautiful era of the 90s where we've been. If you don't follow us on Instagram, go to Instagram and type in the Soul Reason podcast. Go ahead and follow us. Check out some videos and clips from episode 1 and episode 2. But if you're finding us on YouTube, which these are the only two places, Instagram and YouTube, follow us at the same place, at the Soul Reason podcast. And what did you know? When we talk about things in the 90s, in my life and your life, those get the most views, not sneakers. And so I think the biggest one was when we talked about Chuck E. Cheese, which, hey, my good friend Joe reminded me it's not Charles Edward Cheese. I think when you look at Chuck E. Cheese, he looks like an Edward, but I was corrected. And I want to correct it officially on here that it is Charles Entertainment Cheese. And that is what the E stands for. Charles Entertainment Cheese, which makes sense. I actually forget what the other creatures look like. Because, when you walked into Chuck E. Cheese, which if you haven't been there recently, it's quite alarming. There's beer on tap there, which when I was growing up, it was Surge on tap, which is where I got introduced to probably the most dangerous but life-giving, my opinion, type of drink, which was the energy drink. In my world, it's the OG energy drink is Surge, so much so that I have a Surge can tattoo. I'll make a picture bigger so you can see it. But it's the first energy drink that I've ever had in my entire life. Was I in the single digits growing up? Yeah, I think it was like 9 or 8. But I think I just wrote it off at like a birthday party and was like, Dad, it's in the fountain drink. It can't be that bad. Come to find out it was catastrophically high in sugar. So, but I also had like a crazy amount of caffeine back then. That's what I need to get. I need to find a Surge can and just crack open one of those suckers. But if you have not gone to a Chuck E. Cheese recently, and if you don't have kids, let me just encourage you not to go so you don't get arrested for being just a creep. But Chuck E. Cheese has like beer on tap. The games aren't that great, and come to find out, it's a lot smaller than what I remember. It was, I just remember it being so huge. I grew up in the one in Jacksonville, Florida, right off in Arlington, which is like it would be considered not the good side of town. That's where I grew up, and we went to this Chuck E. Cheese. I also had cousins that worked there. None of them were Chuck E. Cheese because I think they knew what. I just remember Chuck E. Cheese always getting punched. Do you remember that? He would come out, your birthday star at Chuck E. Cheese, and like the lights would go nuts. I had my cousins on the stage doing like you say birthday, we say happy, or whatever it was. I just remember Chuck E. Cheese. Like no one got excited to see Chuck E. Cheese for like excitement period. It like when you see Mickey Mouse, you're like, I love Mickey Mouse. When you see Chuck E. Cheese come out, you're like, I want to fight that guy or that mouse. He more looked like a rat to me, rat kind of vibes, which is maybe why it invoked so much violence. Is when you saw it and you're like, he's not Mickey. There's only one mouse and it's Mickey Mouse. And you're like, let's fight Chuck E. Cheese. Anywho, that's what this show is about. We talk about things that are completely irrelevant to life, but they just bring you joy and happiness. And that's what we're going to talk about. So that's what we're about. Before we jump into anything else, you need to know that in order for us to be successful in life, and you need to know this as well, is that energy drinks are a staple in my life. And if they're not a staple in your life, are you actually living life to the fullest? You have to ask yourself that. You have to answer that, not me, because I know where I stand. So let's kick it off with my personal favorite segment. It's the sip of the day. And we're cracking it open, which today we're not cracking it open. We're twisting it off. Here's what I mean. Other than just a weird phrase that you'd say out loud. I asked you guys what energy drink I should try. And lo and behold, within the last episode, Gatorade comes out with this energy drink. It's called Fast Twitch, right? Fast Twitch. It just looks like a concentrate bottle of Gatorade, but you know it's going to pack a punch because there's 200 millibops in this little bottle. It's strawberry lemonade. It's got electrolytes. I don't care if you throw those in there or not. They don't mean anything to me. I just care about the caffeine. Zero sugar. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So you're not going to get the pop, but maybe you can get, not as satisfying as a crack. I just will say that. So I was looking in the bottle, on the what do you get inside the cap? I forget what brand puts like little haikus or little Buddha quotes in there, but nothing here. So Gatorade, not off to a great start. Smells like Gatorade. It's not terrible. The dangers of having a non-carbonated energy drink is I think you just consume it way faster than you should. So like energy drinks, I like to nurse them. I like to sip them throughout the first half of the day. And then, if it's one of those days, you kind of just crack open the second one around 1 or 2 and then just nurse it throughout the night. But when it's not carbonated, I feel like I just drink it like water, which I do not drink. But yeah, it's got a bunch of things in here that I don't care about. Vitamins and potassium and B12 and who cares, right? You didn't come here for this. You don't drink an energy drink for the B12. You drink it for the straight caffeine. And so this one's got 200. It's not bad. The branding is on point for Gatorade. It does not grab my eye. They went with puke green and like not even like the cool hot pink. I think they just flop on the branding. So you know what we do on Sip of the Days? We rate the flavor and we rate the branding. The branding, they try to do the T and the F together to look like some weird superhero branding. It's just not cutting it. It just looks like my 4-year-old got confused on 5-year-old, sorry, got confused on how to draw a T or an F, and this is the logo they came up with. It's like my 5-year-old learning letters. I think the branding is it's just not good. I'm going to give this a 0.5 on the branding. And I know, Gatorade, if you're trying to contend with the big leagues, you're just getting into this energy drink game. And I just think you got to come out with guns blazing, right? Like you got the staples, Red Bull, Monster, Bang. You got the new guy, the new hot guy at school, right? You got Ghost. You got the pretty girl, Alani New. You got all these new people in school, and you come up thinking you're hot stuff, and you got the roller backpack on with this. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not bringing anything. So 0.5 on the branding, but the taste isn't bad. It's actually quite good. It is in every regard a strawberry lemonade. I think it's it's a 2.5 maybe. Yeah. I think it sits right at an average baseline energy drink, which maybe as I drink more in the show, you get the tingles and the jitters and you get the itchies, which is, all my caffeine lovers, that's what we chase after. But right off the get, I think this is a fine, like, hey, I need a a nice beach drink. It's hot outside. I don't want to fall asleep and go into those heat naps that you take at the beach. Like you're so passed out, like in an unhealthy way. You take a nap, you're face down, you're trying to get a tan, but you fell asleep, so you're just brutally sunburnt. So much so that you don't move, that birds start to fly around because they think you're dead. You know those naps? They take a lot of your life, like they take your energy away, but they give you life at the same time. I can't explain it. If my beach people out there, if you know what I'm talking about, you know that the heat beach naps are just, they're just heavenly. They're special. So maybe this is a great beach drink. At a 2.5, maybe it's supposed to hydrate you more than it caffeinates you. I don't know. Can I be honest with you guys? That's my third energy drink of the day. It is 4:37 today that I'm recording this. That's number 3. If we're counting a cup of coffee, that's number 4. But I don't count coffee. Coffee is like water because you can't make coffee without water. So it hydrates you, in my mind. I even read an article, and maybe this is I'm saying I read an article, but maybe I heard it somewhere. So just take it that way. That coffee actually can hydrate you because it is made with water. I'm not a scientist, but I do subscribe to bro science, and that bro science for me checks out. So, I haven't had this segment before in this little time, but we're going to unbox some gifts because, as you know, if you go to our Instagram, hit the link tree at the bottom, you'll see an Amazon wish list. You can go on there and you can buy it, and it ships right to my house. And so let me encourage you guys, go get something. Bless the podcast like these 2 people have. So the first unboxing is from my cousin Mark. He got it straight from the Amazon wish list, and it is none other than the man, the myth, the chaos maker himself, Dennis Rodman. Look at that, dude. How sweet is that? I remember when watching Dennis Rodman play, there were some times where he would just go off at the refs. And my dad would change the channel because it was so bad. It was awesome. I wanted a nose ring because of him. His tattoos were amazing, which weirdly enough, they made him in a Funko Pop or whatever this is, and they didn't put his tattoos on. That's kind of disappointing, but his hair is in rainbow colors, and it made me want to just bleach my hair and make them all different colors. But this is amazing. Mark, you're amazing. Thank you so much. This is going to go right up here. Also, check out that Ultimate Warrior's mask. Dude, do you remember the Ultimate Warrior? Probably not, because there's a lot of young people that watch this show. But if you don't remember the Ultimate Warrior, he wasn't the best wrestler. He was just some roided out dude with long hair that you're just like, he's like a real life action figure. You know, action figure, like every action figure is like super shredded. He was just a real life action figure. It painted his face. He was one of my favorites growing up, and he would just go on these rants. It was like he shot up steroids, and then they're like, in 5 minutes, I just need you to film me, and this is going to be my wrestling promo. And he was just so angry, and it was just like, hey, man, kids are watching this. This is just relax a little bit. But he was just this crazy dude with painted his face. He would just scream, and he would talk about the power of the warrior. And he was just angry. And I was an angry, angsty little kid myself, so I was like, this is my dude. I would just yell crazy things at my brother and just wrestle. Like, me and my brothers would wrestle. I was the guy who just went too hard. And you're just like, yo, dude, relax. And then was devastated when someone said, wrestling's fake. And I said, you're fake. And it was a rough time for me in elementary school when I found that out. But, yeah, dude, the Ultimate Warrior. We found that. Me and my daughter found that this weekend. It was pretty awesome. And then I go to my place of work, and I was gifted on my desk with one of my favorite basketball players. He broke a record last week. Look at these two Funko Pops. You got LeBron in the Space Jam, which, hey, hot take. I have not seen the new Space Jam because I don't want it to ruin my childhood. And I have plenty of friends and family who said, I wish I never saw that. They ruined the franchise, which wasn't even a franchise until they came out with this thing. But LeBron's amazing. Huge fan of him. And then this one is sick in the purple Lakers jersey. So shout out to Tia. Way to bless a brother. Yeah. Let's do this whole unboxing, get the podcast a gift type thing next time. So don't forget, go in the link in the Instagram, the link tree, and you'll see it says TSR wish list. There's some cool books on there. There's some Funkos. There's some cool memorabilia, some signs. There is a neon light of like a rice bowl with noodles and like a chopsticks hanging out. How freaking sick would that be, just hanging out like right above there? It has to be on the show. So check it out. Bless a brother. So what did you do this since the last episode 2 from episode 3? What did you do? How was your life? Hopefully it was good. Hopefully you did slow down and you were kind. Like I talked about my Taco Bell experience drive-through in episode 2. Man, this past weekend, my wife's been on this kick of on Instagram or YouTube. She'll follow these people that just all they eat is Asian food, and they're not necessarily Asian people. I don't know. They're like fascinated with it. I do love Asian food. So let it be known, the stereotype is true in my life that I just love Asian food. When me and my brothers were growing up, I kid you not, 6.5 days out of the 7 days a week, we had a pot of rice in the kitchen, just on like keep warm. And it was always just going every meal. If we had breakfast, like usually white people like bacon and eggs, which, hey, so do I. But why not add 2 scoops of rice underneath that? Pop the egg, get it all in there, scoop that, eat a piece of bacon. It's just great. Or lunch, a scoop of rice, throw like, a little scoop of butter in there with some soy sauce on top, mix it up. And then dinner. Usually everything for dinner has like a sauce or something that you cook with it, like there's like remnants after you eat it, whether it's a steak, whether it's Italian food or whatever. It's just throw a scoop of rice in there and mix it up with that leftover whatever. It's just always good. So we're on this Asian grocery store kick. We're just Googling all the Asian grocery stores, and we come up to this one. So it was awesome. You go in there. Growing up, I used to get these koala. They were like a koala graham cracker shell, but in the middle of them, they would inject it with this like flavored chocolate. My favorite was the strawberry chocolate because it reminded me of like strawberry milk, which is the best type of milk. The Nesquik, who just is the best. And so they had these, and they had these things called, I believe it's pronounced BOTAN, Botan rice candy. And when you would take them, there's 2 wrappers on it. So you would unwrap the one, and then there was this rice paper over this it was almost like a gummy bear type consistency, but you didn't take the rice paper off. So it looked like it had a wrapper, and you put it in there, and the rice paper, it would like dissolve into the gummy bear thing. Dude, me and my brothers would tear this sucker up. My dad had a hair salon, or still does, and right beside it was like a little Filipino grocery store. And we'd get show pals in there. We'd get pancit, which is way better than lo mein. Not even close. The hard part is half of people in America have no idea what that is because there's no good Filipino restaurants or little to-go restaurant. What isn't there there's like a fast food Filipino place now that's just starting to pop up everywhere. I can't. Joe starts with a J, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I'll throw it up here if I remember. But man, you get pancit with some lumpia, with Filipino egg rolls, dude. It's just better. And it's not because I'm Filipino. It's just because it's better. Simply that. Um, so anyway, we're going to this grocery store. This is the place where you just find like a whole octopus arm, just like the whole thing, like just in a little wrapper in the fridge, um, like it's normal. And yeah, it's just not. But for them, it is. You walk through there. You go down the noodle aisle, which there's left side, right side. You're walking down, and there's just different types of noodles everywhere. To the point where I just go, do I just close my eyes, spin around 5 times, and then point, and that's the one I get, which is exactly what me and my daughter did. And so my wife's like, "Oh, we got to get this kind because this guy I saw you cook it on this way, and this guy, and I don't know." So we get a bunch, and one of the guys we saw a guy that goes to our church. He's there with his family. He's like, "Oh, we just ate next door. Um, it's really good, but the service is horrible." So I go, I don't need good service if I'm going to a sketchy Asian restaurant. I just want food. So they had pho there and other just random food collaborations of noodles and meat and veggies and whatever. So I looked at my wife and I was like, let's just try it out. So we go in there, and what I realized is when he said the service is bad, that was the biggest understatement that he could have said. We stand there, and there is a guy. There's no uniforms, right? There's no uniforms there. And I want you to go back. Maybe your experience with the sketchy Asian restaurant is a little bit different than mine, but I feel like they might be similar. You walk in, there's a couple of bugs hanging out by the windows because there's just an overwhelming amount of plants that haven't been watered in 6 months just hanging out by the front door. Like if that's supposed to entice people, it just entices more insects. So you walk in and it's just like, okay, well, it doesn't smell bad, but it definitely looks bad. You know, those kind of like takeout spots? That's exactly what it was. There's like random fences as they use like as a border to like help the wall look better. It's just like a lattice fence that they just staple to the wall. So those vibes are going on, which in my past experience it never scared me. It always go, well, at least the food's got to be good because it's got to make up for this horrible scenery that's happening right now. This dude was a mix between Sid from Toy Story. Toy Story 1, like, he's the guy, it's like, dude, that guy and the pizza guys from Three Ninjas. Remember the pizza guys? They're like, dude, like, that was his first word to everything. Even if dude didn't make sense to be, like, there wasn't space for dude to be in that sentence. Dude was in there. The bus guy, he had no tray, so I don't know if you can call him a bus boy, but the bus guy, he's just sweating, and it's not hot in there. He's just busting his butt. So he goes, "You want table or booth?" Because the THs are hard when you have a strong accent. It's just what it is. And I said, "Booth's good," and he just pointed here. Just which one. He just didn't care. We have many booths. So we sit down. I thought this was the guy to take our order. No. Sid and the Three Ninjas bad guy, the dude guy. If those two people had a kid, it was this guy. Beanie, the swoop hair. He goes, saw dudes. Here's some menus. And he didn't know how to pronounce any of the restaurant names or the menu items, like their real names. He just went by the letter and the number. P6 was the pho with the meatballs and the tripe and the intestine, which I don't do. And I just wanted the shredded steak. So when he would leave, he would ask us a question and then he would leave. But as he was leaving, he would talk to himself about the response that he heard us do, as if it was supposed to be just a thought in his head, but his mouth said, let's team up with your brain and let's make this an audible thing. For instance, he was like, do you guys need some, like, literally hands us down the menu. Do you guys need some time? Yeah, we've never been here before. Okay. As he walks away, no, I've never been here before. Why? Of course you need some time. Like, and he's not talking to anyone. He's just walking away. Of course you need some time. You know, you got P6 and P5 and this and that. I'm just going, I'm looking like he's talking to me, but he's looking the other direction, walking away. It was just amazing. So we order with him. Oh, okay, P1 and P6, and the little one's going to share the soup. Oh, of course you'd share. You got the extra large, which is the bowl of soup the size of, like, it's just like a 5-gallon bucket of like pho. He comes out. The food came out super fast. My wife's looked great. Me and Lawson are looking at this giant bowl. There are things floating in here. Not like things that weren't supposed to be in here, but things that I didn't order were floating in here. I don't really know what tripe is, but I know that I've had it once and I don't want it ever again. The intestines were in there, and there were other things floating in there that I knew were on the menu, but I didn't want those things. I come back and he's just looking at it. He's standing beside me at the thing. He goes, oh, that's not a P5, dude. That's not P5. Oh, dude. Well, let me talk to the kitchen. He might just give it to you for free, but let me just go back. And as he takes 2 steps in that direction, now grant you, the back of the kitchen is maybe 25 feet away. He turns around, takes 2 steps. He is already talking to the kitchen. Dude, that's not a P5, bro. We need a... Anyways, I'm dragging out the story. Oh, but he comes back and he's like, let me get that for you. He grabs the thing, doesn't ask if I want to keep eating it. He takes it back. I hear him say to the kitchen, oh man, I told him that you wanted to give it to him for free. He said he didn't want it, bro. He says he wants P5. Mind you, I didn't say anything. So he comes back out way too fast with the meal that I ordered, which was a little sus, but I ate it and it was amazing. And I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. We'll give you a percentage off. And I was like, it's all good, dude. The food was really good. And he goes, oh, I know. The food's good. Service sucks. Sheesh. And that's what he did. He did that phrase, sheesh, with the 9 E's in the middle. No exaggeration. 15 times when we were there. It was amazing. I'm definitely going to go back. It's by the sketchy water park in Myrtle Beach. There's only one sketchy water park, and it's right beside it. So go there. I think it's Siam Garden, where the food's good, the service sucks. Anywho, I talk too much. Yeah, dude, Asian food, the sketchier the place, the more authentic and real. And they just don't care about customer service because they know Americans want real Asian food. Maybe not even real Asian food, doctored up Asian food. You're going there because of the food, not because of the customer service. If you want customer service, you're going to pay $39.99 at the hibachi place where they cook in front of you, do the volcano. You know the drill. But other than that, the sketchier the place, and this is my Asian food theology, the sketchier the place, you need a neon light that says walk, like WOK, or like the thank you, come again, like type sign, like a sketchy sign that doesn't even make sense. A bunch of borderline dead, dried out plants along the front window. Um, yeah, or the part you need the place in Rush Hour 1 where Chris Tucker is going up, or Carter, Detective Carter, he's going up. He goes, "What is this? A box of grease?" And he gets in the fight with, and they start going back and forth, throwing a bunch of inappropriate words to each other. They get mad, so I get it. But he said, "I don't want a box of grease. I want some. This ain't soul food or something like that." I don't know. It's Rush Hour 1, maybe one of the greatest movies. That whole series, 1, 2, and a little bit of 3, which the rumor is I think number 4 is being filmed right now. So I'm gonna see it. Hopefully you will too. But I always wanted to do, like, I loved that movie so much, but I never was Jackie Chan. I would always be like Chris Tucker. Like, I was the black guy, and then all my black friends are just like, "Oh, well, you got to be Jackie Chan." And it's like, yeah, we reversed the roles, but man, so we went on Instagram and we asked you guys a question. Dare I go with the we thing again? Just me out here. It's going to be a bad habit, but I'll break it. I asked you about your beater sneaker. What do you look for in a beater sneaker? A sneaker that you wear every day. Sometimes putting an outfit together, it's just like, this is exhausting. You have too many shoes to pick from. You just don't know what to do. Then you just go to your Old Faithful shoes. These are the Old Faithful shoes. Yeah, we asked you, what is your beater sneaker and what do you look for in a sneaker? And I think you got to know what you're looking for in a sneaker in order to make your decision. So I think comfort right out of the gate is a shoe that, like, and if I'm looking for an everyday shoe, it's got to be cozy. It's got to be comfortable. It doesn't necessarily have to be the hype sneaker that everyone's talking about, but my foot has to feel like it's just being nestled in a nice little sleeping bag. Not too hot, nice and comfortable. Comfort. Someone put neutral. Yeah. Earth tone, colorway. Yeah, a good black sneaker. I had a friend make fun of me. He saw all my shoe collection. He's like, "Dude, what is up with you and all these black shoes?" It's like, if you can get a black shoe in every model that there is, why wouldn't you do that? You don't have to try hard. Not that you're lazy, but you don't have to try. Look, I'm not saying Panda Dunk lazy, right? Something neutral, universal style. You don't want like a dress shoe as your everyday beater. That just doesn't make sense. Something cozy, but not too like outlandish. One of my dads in here puts heel support. I don't have a problem with shoes that don't have bad heel support. Now, hot take. I have no arch in my foot. I am 100% flat-footed. Dude, I am so flat-footed. It's not that like, oh, he has a small arch. I don't have any arch in my foot. It's kind of weird looking. So much so that when someone has an arch in their foot, I think their foot's deformed. In reality, I got the weird foot. So much so that growing up, when I would take a shower, my foot was so flat that it would make like a suction cup noise to the bottom of the shower tub, like the bathtub, and it would make like this fart noise, and I would get scared. It would make this like a weird suction. You know when you make the weird noise with your hands? My foot would do that to the bottom of the tub, and I thought someone was in the bathroom on the other side of the curtain. And I'd freak out and like pull it back real quick. No one was in there. It was just my suction cup, flat foot. So heel support, I guess that's important to a lot of people out there. Mine is it just has to have just a small arch. Now, something with a big arch, my foot is destroyed. That's why I love me a pair of Vans. And durability. you're probably going to wear this shoe more than any other shoe because it's not your hype sneaker. It's not your grail sneaker. It's just an everyday shoe. So you need it to be durable because it's going to get a lot more miles than your typical shoe. So, the beaters that people sent in, they're all over the place, which is, I love the diversity in the different types of sneakers that we got. My personal beater sneaker out there is they're like all black upper and then the gray midsole Air Max 1, which I've said this before. Air Max 1 is the best silhouette. And I always say, in my opinion, I just don't think it's an opinion anymore. I think it's a fact. The Air Max 1 is the best sneaker ever invented by Tinker Hatfield. Like, it's not just by him. Yes, by him. It's better than Jordan 1. It's better than any of the Jordans out there. The Air Max 1 is the best sneaker shape of all time. But my beater sneaker, my go-to is just all black Air Max 1. It's not anything special. It's a GR for sure. So much so that, like, I just need to re-up on another pair of just black and white Air Maxes. And then Adidas Ultra Boost. And they're all black. They're the black upper with the white midsole. Which the thing that's annoying about Adidas Boost, like the white, once it gets dirty, I've seen all the videos of how do you make Boost videos or Boost clean again. And it's just like, what happened to the wet wipe or the toothpaste and toothbrush and just getting in there and it's clean again? There's like special markers. I don't have to marker my shoe to fake it that it's clean. Anywho, but the Ultra Boost, it's one of the most comfortable shoes of all time. The Ultra Boost, I think it's the 2000. I just got a newer pair. It's the 2021. It's the one with like the heel is up. It's like this big. I'll put it up here, but the black and gray Air Max 1s and just black and white Ultra Boost, those are my beaters. You just can't go wrong. I actually have a pair of I go back and forth in the Ultra Boost and the Adidas Boost Knits Boost. So I know they have a skateboard model, but this one just has Boost all the way through the middle of it. And it's like kind of like a knit top. You definitely can't skate them because like it's a knit upper, one kick flip, and then the thing just goes, you know. But yeah, let's get into y'all's. First off, we have Adidas Stan Smiths, just a classic shoe. This is just one. I'm going to wear a Stan Smith over a shell toe when it comes to like your OG Adidas like tennis shoe. I'm just not a shell toe guy. They just kind of, I don't know. It kind of looks like a rain boot type thing. And if I want to wear rain boots, I'll wear rain boots, not a shell toe. But I do love the Adidas Stan Smith, just a classic. And also, two shoes. Fog, Fear of God, Air Raid, the all black ones, which I am waiting for the Fear of God and Adidas collab. I get it. You can't rush innovation and creativity, but you can be on time. And it's been, I forget when the announcement was. Maybe it was 2020 when Jerry Lorenzo transitioned from Nike to Adidas. And he showed everyone because he had the haircut that had the 3 stripes in the back, which I thought was cool. Some people think it's a tattoo, and I'm just like, that's brand commitment. You just got over there. But I'm waiting for those to happen. To my knowledge, I don't think there's any Fear of God / Adidas collab that have dropped yet. But I will be waiting patiently. The next submission, we got 2 again. Because you got to have a rotation if it's beaters, right? The Panda Dunks. We'll let it slide. I get it. It's black and white. I saw, what? I'm trying to think of the other sneaker podcast, the popular one, the complex sneaker podcast. I forget what it's called. Um, I think it's just might be the Complex Sneaker Podcast, which is an amazing one. But they have an article that I saw on their Instagram. Is Panda Dunks are the new Chuck Taylors, which I thought was freaking hilarious. But yeah, check that one out. But I get it, black and white. You don't want to try too hard. You just throw them on. Um, and then just some all white Yeezy 350s, which I saw that Adidas is trying to make a deal with Kanye again because it was roughly around $1.2 billion in loss because I guess they're not selling the ones that have Yeezy on them. I don't know. At the end of the day, who cares? There's, you know, I'll go here. What's interesting to me is, did Kanye say some stupid stuff? 100%. But we act like all the Nike shoes don't come from across the seas from sweatshops. I'm not saying I'm okay with it, but let's just recognize it what it is, right? Um, we're buying the guy's shoes because that's not true. Some people are buying the shoes because they're comfortable and they like the style. Some people are buying it because they're Kanye West like cult followers. And so I get it. But yeah, a pair of 350s just to cook them. Yeah, why not? The thing about 350s, what I've realized in my foot is they're super comfortable. There's just no support on top. So if you're trying, not that I'm trying to just do a 100-yard dash in them, but what I realized if I'm wearing them all day, I just don't like how much my foot slides in them. But I do love a pair of 350s. So for a beater pair, makes sense to me. Now that they're easy to find, yeah. Next pair, I didn't know that this shoe existed, but the Nike Air Max, I believe they're 90 football check. These are freaking sick. They got the football check, but the check is made. It looks like the skin of a football. Yeah, like I said before. Yes, Air Max 1, but Air Max 90, Air Max 95, Air Max 97, all the Air Maxes, Air Max 2s. Um, yeah, they're all just amazing. Any Air Max, not any Air Max. I think when the 270s are pushing it, any more of the weird the vintage obscure Air Maxes are amazing. I love them. But when you get to the new Air Max and they're trying different technology, get creative, get innovative. I get it. But the Vapor Max, which maybe you don't even count that as an Air Max, I don't. It's just too weird. Just too weird. So yeah, the Nike Air Max 90 football checks. I need to get these. I need to get these. Next is the Adidas Terex Maker, which I do love. Adidas's like outdoor boots, like hiking boots, and I even think my brother wears. He has a sweet Adidas like Pharrell Terex, like I think they're the Human Race like high top boots. Those are sweet, but the Terex Trailmakers. Am I even saying that right? Terex, the T-Rex Trailmakers. Um, yeah, these are great. Just some. You wear these with some crew socks, with some cargo khaki shorts. You're ready to just attack the world and just take on whatever life has to throw at you if you're a dad. Like that's the move, right? You wear a shirt that your wife got you that hasn't figured out your style yet, but she just thinks like, "Oh, I thought you would like this." And you're just like, "Really? Why? No, I don't have a shirt like this." Um, khaki, some khaki shorts, maybe a pocket on the side because you got kids. If you got a newborn, you throw in an extra pacifier in there. Um, maybe an extra card, maybe a battery pack, chargeable battery pack for your phone because they're watching just Cocomelon or Bluey or whatever. And then you do the high crew socks, or maybe you just do the mid, uh, Crew socks go all the way up. What's the one that just hovers right above your ankle? You know what I'm talking about? You were one of those, and then you put on your Adidas Terex Trailmakers, and you're just ready to be the best dad ever. Next, another pair of Yeezy 350s, and then the beloved foam runners. I feel like if you wore foam runners a lot, they just kind of melt away. Like the pair that I had, they just wore out so fast in the bottom to where it's just like I didn't even care about the value they had anymore because they're just melting away. They just deteriorate so fast. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I don't know. You walk around in Florida enough with some foam runners, they just melt because everything's so freaking hot over there. These are great. I haven't got a pair of these, but I've seen these. The Ultra Boost, the Adidas 4Ds. They have the Ultra Boost uppers, but then the 4D midsole. They just look so cool. I've watched a video of how they print them. They're just so cool. Or how they pour them, or it's been a while, but yeah, the Adidas 4Ds are mad comfortable. And then you have, I remember when Nike came out with the Nike React. They had the Nike React, like just the run-of-the-mill running shoe. And these are just super comfortable. But I don't think Nike is close in how cushiony, is that a word? Comfortable the midsole is. Like the squishiness is not even close. I think the Asics, like Gel Light 3s and 4s are way more comfortable as far as like midsole squishiness than your Nike React. But Nike React, a black and a white pair, you can't beat that. For everyday beaters, you can't beat it. And the last one is I haven't had a pair of these because I think my foot would just sweat too much. Is the Allbirds, which these are sweet. Allbirds they got some awesome designers out there. There's like a running shoe version of the Allbirds. I forget they're called like the trail hikers or trail runners or whatever they are, but they're sweet looking. Look like a little running shoe. Allbirds, but they're all made out of like I think it's like merino wool on top, so they don't smell like your typical shoes do when you wear them a lot. They're sweet. My wife's had a pair for like 5-6 years. But I just feel like my foot would just get this is gross, but just get so sweaty. There's nothing worse than when you're wearing a shoe and you put your sock is just so hot. And I'm not going to say the M word, but I'll put it up on the screen because I hate this word. But when your foot gets to this level, I just can't. I just get rid of the shoe. It's just gross. Some honorable mentions. No one put these in, but I think I've seen these as beater shoes for a long time, like just everywhere. Bro, the Croc game is running wild. It's actually out of control. I get it. You want to be comfortable and cozy. But I don't think Crocs are socially acceptable in a public place where shopping in the grocery store and just running errands. I just think it's gross. And I think it's just so different than sandals. I've seen people with sandals. I don't wear sandals unless they're with socks. I had an argument with a friend like this. And I'm not just talking to slot. I don't do sandals with the thong toe thing. It just feels too invasive. I don't want that piece of leather between my toes. I don't want anything between my toes, let alone a piece of leather. But if I'm wearing like strappy sandals or some Chacos or Tevas or Keens or some Nike ACG, those are sweet. Any type of sandal or even slides, like some old school Jordan slides, and I'll throw Crocs in this world. If you're not wearing socks, you're gross. I love you, and we can be friends, but I just think you're gross. Now, if you're doing the thong sandal thing with those, you can't wear socks with those unless you do like Ninja Turtle like dojo style, which might be kind of tight. If I saw you wearing socks with the thong sandals, I'm like, this dude, he knows how to roundhouse kick me in the face. He can go cowabunga on me big time. Which, man, Ninja Turtles. Now, we get a little crazy. And I'm not talking about the cartoon, which the cartoon's amazing. I'm talking about real life, like you and I Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles 1, awesome. Ninja Turtle 2, awesome when I was little, doesn't hold up. Ninja Turtle 3, it's not enough that you think Ninja Turtles in the real world. It's like, number one, in a weird world, you could kind of see, maybe, okay, maybe. 2's a stretch. 3, that's the one where they got the samurai hats on and just like, hey man, what do we? No, it's just not working for me. But I just remember watching Ninja Turtles 1. That's when I heard a lot of my first cuss words in a movie. But I found my spirit animal in Ninja Turtles, the first one, the first movie. And I know what you're thinking. Spirit animal, got to be a turtle or the rat, right? Splinter. It wasn't the animal. My spirit animal to this day is Casey Jones. Dude, I just thought Casey Jones was the coolest. He had no superpowers, right? Remember the first run-in? The lady steals her bag. I believe it's Raph who chases him down, fights him in the park. Casey Jones thinks Raph's a bad guy. Hits him with the cricket thing. I forget. Well, what did he say? Well, Jose Canseco bet? Tell me you didn't pay money for this, right? And then he gets the cricket and he just hits him. He flies up in there, lands in the trash can. Freak. Remember? It's just awesome. But I thought to myself, I said, I can be real life Casey Jones. I can get a golf club. I'm sure I could find a hockey stick out of this thing called Play It Again Sports, which I don't even know if they still have those around. I can buy he just had like a golf bag, just like a daytime, like small golf bag. And he had all his weapons in there and a hockey stick and like a denim, like jean vest. Dude, that's my spirit animal. I have no skills whatsoever, but I could be Casey Jones and I could be a vigilante good guy. So Bruce Wayne, he had no superpowers. He was a vigilante good guy, but he just had billions of dollars. Like Casey Jones was borderline like a homeless guy who was just down to hurt like the bad guys, which weirdly enough, I can relate to that guy. I don't know how I got there, but that's what we do. That's what we do at this show. You follow me down a journey, and it could be a rabbit trail, and that rabbit trail can turn into the Appalachian Trail, where we go all the way from Georgia all the way to Maine. And if it's a conversation that takes us there, let's go there. But man, Ninja Turtles, it was just amazing. And then when they fake Shredder at the end, he has the claw marks from Splinter, which impossible to have those claw marks from a rat that was the size of your hand. I don't know. I'm a kid, so who cares at that time, but it still holds up. I can't wait to watch that movie with my daughter. She's 5. I think it's just too aggressive at this point. She also has a weird knack from being like her favorite people are the bad guys. It's a little concerning, but she's like, every time we watch Star Wars, she's like, oh, I love Darth Vader. And it's like, yeah, he's cool. But what about Luke? And he's like, Luke sucks. And it's just like, yeah, he does kind of suck. He cries. What Jedi cries all the time? Darth Vader's incredible. And he's way stronger. And he says one-liners. He's like a Jedi Buddha. Like yeah, I get it. Anywho, sandals with socks are a must. If you're wearing, yeah, we've already been over that. My second honorable mention is just some Nike Prestos. I think Prestos are one of the greatest shoes. They're just so universal. They look unique enough to where it's a Presto. It's not like, oh, is that kind of like a Dunk or a Jordan or like a? It's just such its own shoe, kind of like an Ultra Boost. Instead of Nike or React trying to compete with the Ultra Boost with that, I think and we've already talked about this. I do think and I believe with my whole heart that Nike Prestos are more comfortable than Ultra Boost. I just believe it. I think it. I believe it in my heart of hearts. Honorable mention, a beater, the Nike Presto. So thank you guys for participating and just chiming in with me. I didn't say we. Chiming in with me on Instagram, where you guys be part of the show, and giving your feedback. I don't always agree with it, but I'm so glad you stopped by. So, this brings us into the next segment. There's a lot of sneakers coming up. 2023 is off to, I think, a pretty good start. We ended on a good note with the Jordan 1 Lost and Founds in 2022, but 2023, just even in the Air Max 1 world, is nuts. It's like I saw a post of all the upcoming confirmed Air Max 1 releases, and one of the most liked comment was, "I'm gonna have to start robbing banks to afford all these." It's like an Air Max 1 page. But this is a segment that we call "What We Eatin'." The cooks are in the kitchen. Nike is off to, I think, a ridiculous start. And they're coming out with some good stuff. But there's some other brands that are out there that I think are giving Nike a run for their money. I think people are just sick of Nike just throwing out these just like, maybe they'll like this. We're not a lot of effort. And they just throw out these shoes. And I'm like, bump this. This is ridiculous. And they're going to Asics and Solomon's kicking butt and New Balance, like the converts from Nike to New Balance and all the Yeezy heads out there. They're just like, well, if they're not going to make any more Yeezys, then how? Like, we got to find a different brand. I think New Balance has taken the bulk of those people. That's my opinion. But what we eating? What are you guys eating? Are you ordering this on the menu? Do you have your sneakers app? Remind me when this time happens for the drops. But there's a couple things that are going to drop, if not already, by the time this comes out, that I think are worth noting. The first one is the Nike Air Force One Tiffany collab. Now, the reviews on this are all over the place. People that grew up where the Nike SB Tiffany Dunks came out, they're like, there's this Tiffany collab, and then you're going to give us this garbage. And they're pretty upset. But may I remind you that this isn't a Nike SB. It's just an Air Force One. And I get it. This thing has a lot of small little nuances and touch of Tiffany that I think are pretty neat. Like the heel tab where it has I don't know. I think it's the amount of silver that they have on the back. I think that's pretty cool. I really like the tongue, the Nike tag on the tongue where it just says Tiffany in their font. Just little things. I like the Tiffany check. But I do like the flat, all black, I think it's suede or some type of leather. I like it. It's subtle enough. Now, if you do the Tiffany Dunks back in the day, those are not subtle. If you wore a pair of those, you're either going to get mugged or something. This is just an iconic shoe. It's a grail for many. I don't think it's a grail for me. I think it would be an awesome shoe to have. But I've seen it. I've wore my friends for back in the day. And I just like, yeah, it's cool. But it just comes across. I think when your grail is so ridiculously rare, like you just come across as like a try hard a little bit. I think if you have a Grail that's like that, you just keep it in your house. It's on your sneaker shelf. Maybe you get one of those little plexiglass things and you just like look at it. Someone comes over, maybe it's a living room piece, right? You got the rare sneakers on your wall and stuff, and I don't know, maybe that's you, but um, I'm eating this up. I don't know if I'm ordering this. I do like the shoe. I think I don't know what the retail is. It's going to be up here, maybe 350. I know it's above your typical Air Force One, which rightfully so. It's got a bunch of little details that I think sneakerheads like. But mixed reviews. I like the shoe. I think it's okay. The next is now we got two outlandish shoes back to back that I think are freaking ridiculous. Can I just say that? They're ridiculous. But sometimes I kind of like ridiculousness, except for this one. This is the Nike Nocta collab. I'm just going to call these the Scuba Steves. They're supposed to be like kind of like slides. What are we doing? I feel like this is like a Drake troll. Like he's just trolling people. No way he's like, yo, this sneaker. This sneaker to him would be like he came out with this Air Force One, the all white ones where it says, I think it says I love you or something on the heel. I like the subtle hit. Good job, Drake. The weird Air Max collab thingamajig trash shoe, garbage. But this one, who wears it? Where do you wear this? I mean, Halloween's only one, like maybe a couple Halloween parties in October. You're just crushing a couple every weekend, which leaves you at like what, 4 or 5 max? You can only be Scuba Steve maybe one solid year. And then what do you do with these slides? I don't know. I'm just calling these the Scuba Steves forever. I will make a promise to you people that if I see someone with these out in public, I will go up to him and I said, "It's so glad to meet you, Scuba Steve." And it'll probably be some hype beast kid who's 14 who doesn't even know the movie Big Daddy, where Scuba Steve makes his guest appearance. What a great movie. Big Daddy, they don't make comedies like that anymore. They don't. It's either a way like vulgar and like there's just naked people in it. But this movie is just, now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of inappropriate things in there. Maybe little kids should definitely not watch this this movie. But it's such a great movie. Scuba Steve's in it. One of my favorite parts of the movie is when the kid pees the bed and he's like, "Holy moly, that's a lot of pee." And he's like, "What do you? I don't know." They just put he just puts newspaper on the bed. He goes, "All right, go back to sleep." And the kid just like rolling around in it. Such a good movie. Yeah, I'm not eating the Scuba Steves. Nike, Nocta, whatever that means. And I know, again, I'm not a sneaker historian. I'm not a sneaker informant. I don't know all the details. But if you're trying to, Nocta means, hey, I don't care. I don't care. So, do we hit you up with another ridiculous shoe? These are the Mischief Rocket Boy boots. These are insane. These are, and people in America, I think, are like, dude, these are nuts, whatever. Like, bro, Japanese people in like cosplay, anime, dressing up, this is just like, oh, you guys are just now getting into this stuff? We've been doing this for like 25, 30 years. There's people, now I've never been to Japan or China or any other place like that, which me and my wife, Lord willing, are going to Japan in the next 5 years. I hope. Please. TSR family, make it happen. Cash at me and Venmo me enough so that we could just I'll do the hotels and the food and everything. You just pay for the flights. And we'll vlog the whole thing. It'll be amazing. But I think Japanese people have been doing cosplay and weird stuff. Like, maybe it's not weird to you. I just think it's like, other than dressing up and being like, hey, I'm dressing up, I don't know why you would get these boots. But if you were dressing up, I think these are freaking sweet. Um, I I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I guess someone got an early release of these, and the dude couldn't get them off. Which I don't know how they would stay on your foot. I have no idea. But they oh my gosh, is that the right time? We're already at 1:05. I just talk a lot. Um, they couldn't get them off. So there's like two guys like pulling them up, trying to get the boot off. But yeah, I never watched Rocket Boy. I don't know if it's an anime or if it's a I assume it's a cartoon. I don't know what kind of cartoon is. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe these are the shoes that really get me into anime. Which, if I'm be frankly honest with you, the anime world, it's just a weird world. Now, I grew up with Dragon Ball Z, which I could literally talk about another hour and 5 minutes about Dragon Ball Z. But Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, the OG Pokemon, Gundam Wing, Gundam, any Gundam, that's kind of my extent into the anime world. And when you start to linger a little bit more, I've heard the One Punch. I heard that's really great. I've heard My Hero Academia. I heard that's cool. Cowboy Bebop. I haven't watched any of these, but I know that when you teeter the line of anime, you're about to cross into some weird, uncharted territory that's going to get dark and weird, and it's going to mess your brain up real fast if you're not careful. But yeah, I'll check out Rocket Boy, find out what the heck it is, what kind of cartoon it is. So these are fun. I think if you want them, these would be cool in like a living room piece, like the Tiffany dunks. These would be cool to just put like on a bookshelf somewhere or like a backdrop on like a podcast, for example. I think these are the kind of shoes. But yeah, other than wearing them, I'm like, I'm gonna go to Publix real quick and get some groceries. I don't. Maybe you want to do it for clout's sake. I'm just a grown behind man. You just can't do stuff like that. You can. It's just not me. The next, these probably might be my favorite shoes on the What We Eaten list on this episode, but the Asics Brain Dead Gel Nimbus 9s. There's about 2 or 3 colorways on this. I love Asics so much. I wear my Asics, I think they're Gel Light 3s, the Waterspoon collab ones. I beat the mess out of them. They are so comfortable, and they slip on. I don't have to tie my shoes. Dude, the tongue splits down the middle. Anyways, these aren't like that, but I do love Bad Brains. I get them confused, which is an incredible band. Keep that PMA. But the Brain Dead, their company, really weird stuff, but I love their style of over branding. Just branded everywhere. And then Asics. And then when they collab, which they have 2 collabs. I like I forget the number exactly, but it's like all black and it has neon yellow like laces and little hits. They're like ASIC running shoes. They did those collab. I need to get those, but those are really cool. But these are so sweet. I love that they pick colors that normally people would just stay away from because it's like we don't want to be too crazy. It's just like, oh, full send it. Brain Dead just goes for it. I like these. I like these a lot. These aren't on there, but notable Brain Dead collabs. These Oakley shoes, these are so sweet to me. And again, maybe it's the dad in me who just goes, yeah, some weird outdoor shoe is my favorite now. These look super comfortable. They slip on. Call me a 5-year-old, but dude, slip-on shoes, hard to beat. Hard to beat. Yeah, but these Asics Brain Dead Gel Nimbus 9s, I'm going to try to get a pair. I really like the burgundy pair. I'm going to try to get those. Maybe finagle some trades, you know. I'm a big trade barter type of guy. And then the last but not least, it's the Stussy Nike Air Max Penny 2s in the tan colorway. I have the Spirit and 2 Stussy collabs, but just that color. I don't know if they use the same materials. It kind of looks the same. Dude, this shoe, and who doesn't like Penny? Man, he was so good. And in the commercials, when they had little, I don't know if they said Little Penny or Lil Penny, but he was kind of like the Pinocchio version of Penny Hardaway. Dude, it just speaks to my angsty elementary school brain. These are sweet. And with the earth tones and that little khaki, that tan, you can wear them with anything. The best is you just wear a black shirt, black pants, and wear this color. You're set, dude. Hey, and for those of you that say, I haven't figured out my style, you're welcome. The key is you're going to wear crazy colors, just wear all black, and then hit them with the shoes. That is it for What We Eatin'. That's it for this episode. I honestly thought it was going to be a short episode, but after an hour and 10 minutes in, I just want to firmly and formally say, I am so sorry. Maybe I'm not sorry. No, I'm not sorry. If you're tuning in this long, I really appreciate you. So as we close down, I'm going to plug the IG. Go to the Soul Reason Podcast on Instagram. Follow us there, or go to YouTube at the Soul Reason Podcast. Subscribe, like this video, share it with someone. And yeah, be the next sponsor of our next sip of the day. And we don't get to try this Gatorade Fast Twitch imposter of an energy drink. You can Cash App me or Venmo and sponsor the show. We need some equipment that we don't have yet, or maybe you see something like, Josh, you need this thing and behind you for the backdrop. Hit me up. Cash App me or Venmo me, and in the memo say what you want me to get, and I will get those things just for you. And you can go to @OriginalJoshD on Cash App and Venmo. So, or get us a little treat on the Amazon TSR wish list. So don't forget, always a reminder, I am constantly reminded to slow down. There is no need for a rush. You're not behind. Just do the right thing. Be kind to people and slow down. I believe there are so many things that we overlook, opportunities to love people, opportunities to be generous, opportunities to learn new things. If we slow down, there's things that we overlook all the time. Slow down. What's right in front of you? What are you supposed to be doing that you know you should have done, but life has been too busy? Slow down. Try to do that thing that you know you're supposed to do. And watch what happens. And let me know what happens. Let me know your story in the comments. Slow down. Be kind. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube. And this has been episode 3 of The Soul Reason. I love you a whole lot. See you next time.